What I mostly want to come on here and talk about is Jamie Foxx basically withering away in this hospital and the fact that his preferences are nowhere to be found. And situations like this have to be pointed out because we live in a black male worshiping culture where these bandits get to engage in the utmost form of treason. We know they loudly and aggressively promote the fact that they are with women of no color, and they can't just go sit quietly and date whoever they want to date. They have to be obnoxious about it. They have to wave it in your face, being on some nana nana boo boo, I got me a throwback, using these women essentially as a weapon against black women, and that is not okay. Because
now we all know that's a bunch of cap, because what happened to that one guy that used to be on that show called The Game when he got married to his white wife and he posted it on Instagram? Black women came at him hard, and all he was doing was just celebrating his wedding. What's going on, YouTube? Is your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. Wanted to try a different camera angle, man, and just kind of switch it up. But I just found it really interesting that she is over here talking about this Jamie Foxx situation. And y'all know how Cynthia G is. She got something against black men dating outside their race, even though supposedly she's supposed to be a divester and encouraging black women to date other races of men. And the funny thing about it, even the men that are pro-black and date black men, date black women, she got something against them too. So at this point, I'm just starting to think she's just a bitter ass old woman. Now, let's continue.
Not okay, because what they've been doing is telling you how much more supportive these women are, how much these women love them, saying ridiculously stupid nonsense like this.
We need to learn as black men that we have options. We got white women, Asian women, Chinese women, Mexican women, Arab women. We don't have no shortage of women that want us. No matter how bad the black woman talks about the black man in society, we don't have no shortage of women running to take us. We don't have no shortage of women that want to respect us. We don't have no shortage of women that want to marry us. We don't have no shortage of women that want to have a baby by us. No matter when they get through opening their mouth and talking how want to talk about us, and they stopping your friends who are not of the same race as you are wanting a black man.
As you heard the bandit in there sitting up talking about how there's so many different women of other races who respect them, want to marry them, love them, and want to create children with them. Yet you have a high profile black man here who is at his greatest time of need. He literally have children with his preferences and have been in long-term relationships with them. Yet in his greatest time of need, which would be the most important time to show support, they are nowhere to be found.
So my question for you would be, how do you know this? Do you know these women personally? Do you have some kind of inside scoop, some kind of confirmation that these women were never at the hospital? Why? Because the daughter has been the only one that's been speaking to the public about what's going on with him? Probably because she's the most recognized person outside of the women that he had children with. Maybe they don't want to speak to them. Did you ever think about that? Like, this woman doesn't even know these people. How does she know that they're not there? Like, this sounds like a woman that's just trying to reach and get some views because she ain't have shit else to talk about. Let's keep it moving, man.
To be found. So bandits think that they get to just sit up and say stuff and demean and degrade black women and talk about how black women are poor excuses for women. You're masculine, you're manly, you won't cooperate, you won't submit, you won't support them, you won't let them lead. But then when they go to other communities, we see either the women of no color talking about they got the same black man, which is essentially why Katie Holmes broke up with Jamie Foxx, or you see much worse outcomes. And so in this video, I want to talk about Jamie Foxx, his history with his preferences, and I want us to explore the question of why none of them are by his side at his greatest moment where he could potentially be crossing over, even though he...
Well, I hate to bust your bubble, but recent news has surfaced from his daughter that he's been out of the hospital for a while now and recuperating. So I don't know. I guess maybe Cynthia G was late to the party on that one, fellas. But yeah, because that's been popping up on my feed a lot lately too, from multiple YouTube channels. Apparently, he's been out of the hospital longer than we expected. Well, longer than we know. So I don't know where she got this from, but again, how do you know they weren't there? It's like, you got to understand, like, the people he had, the women he had children with, weren't in the spotlight like his daughter is. Like, it's probably a good reason for that. And I'd imagine he probably messed with these particular kind of women because he really didn't care for, he probably didn't want these women in the spotlight. Like, it's like, damn, it just goes to show you, man, like, black women in particular, they can be so bitter that logic just goes all out the window, man. Like, she ain't stopped to think about any of this. Let's keep it moving.
Crossing over, even though he appears to be a treasonous bandit by behavior, nobody can take away his contribution to the music and the entertainment industry, and I don't think anybody would. But this is really not about his accomplishments, because as it stands, he is in the hospital. He has been there for a month now, and it doesn't look like things are getting better. But I want to talk about Jamie Foxx's dating history, because as we know, your interpersonal relationships and the relationships that you form long term, especially when you have children with people, they all matter, especially when you're in a great time of need, which Jamie Foxx is in. So even though Jamie Foxx has dated, or allegedly has dated, some black celebrities like Megan Good and Vivica Fox, although I don't know how many people are aware of that. Like I said, I don't really follow Jamie Foxx like that. But in his dating history, it does involve a few celebrity black women. However, the majority of the women who Jamie Foxx has been tied to, been in long-term relationships with, or created children with, have been women of no color. Out of those women of no color, there are 3 of them who had some importance in his life. 2 of them are obviously his children's mothers, and one of them was Katie Holmes. We will get to the mothers in a minute. Jamie Foxx dated Katie Holmes for a very long time, 6 years actually. That's a long-term relationship. That's nearly as long as the average marriage lasts. Katie Holmes, however, is the one who ended their 6-year relationship. And I want to read something that talked about why their relationship ended. It says, according to multiple sources, Katie and Jamie were in 2 very different places in the relationships. Katie Holmes reportedly wanted commitment alongside a quiet life, working and raising her daughter Suri. I want to pause for the cause, because I told you guys, with the pathology of black men when it comes to women of no color, even though they will set certain standards for black women, those standards drop when it comes to women of no color. So we hear them promoting how you don't want to get with a baby mama or a woman with baggage or of a certain age, but we typically see them lax those standards or completely drop them when it comes to a woman of no color. Jamie Foxx is obviously no exception, because Katie Holmes is the baby mama to Tom Cruise. However, that
simple question. Jamie Foxx already had those children, right? By the time he started messing with Katie Holmes, right? Okay. Did you ever stop to think that maybe he was cool with dating her because he didn't want kids anymore? And keep in mind, Katie Holmes, Tom Cruise, these are celebrities. They're not going to have the same issues that the everyday average person is going to have in terms of dealing with baby daddies and what have you. Like, come on, man. Like, you over here trying to compare apples to oranges. It don't work like that, man. She is.
You stupid.
Let's keep it moving.
Tom Cruise. However, that clearly wasn't an issue for Jamie Foxx, because he still dated Katie Holmes for 6 years despite who she was in a relationship with. But it says Jamie Foxx, on the other hand, allegedly didn't want to end his partying lifestyle and wanted to keep things more casual, a little too casual if we are to believe some of the reasons. Now, apparently Jamie Foxx, even being in a relationship with his preference, Katie Holmes, he was still the same black man. It says it has been been many years of him stepping out with other women. He's disrespectful and their lives were different. His partying ways don't fit with hers, Katie's, as she focused on raising her daughter and working. So, aside from Katie Holmes, Jamie Foxx has two baby mamas, one of them named Connie Klein, and this is a woman of no color. You see her here, very basic. This would be considered a second-tier woman. So, Jamie Foxx met this woman of no color who literally, in terms of her career accomplishments, he absolutely slept down, because at the end of the day, this woman, she was in the military, but she also was just a regular woman who had a regular job. As you can see, very homely looking. So one would question what attracted Jamie Foxx to this woman. Clearly, the whiteness of her skin. And so her relationship with Jamie Foxx was hidden for most of the time. But in 1993, it was actually revealed that she was in this situationship with Jamie Foxx, and they had her daughter, Corinne Foxx, who is now the one who is putting out the statements, the one who announced that he was in the hospital, and the one who appears to be by his side. But that
Now, I gotta keep it all the way a buck, you guys, man. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Yo, your first baby mama mid as hell, bruh. That's super mid. However, it ain't got nothing to do with the color of her skin. By the way, I'm like, y'all ever notice that Cynthia G sound like one of those announcers at the airport? This is your flight Z27777. You are now boarding. Da, da, da. I'm like, that's what Cynthia G. Oh my God, bruh. She sound annoying as hell. Good Lord. But what I wanted to my bad, you guys. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, the part that that really grinds my gears, man. It goes to show you that Cynthia G is falling under the same programming as most women. She is gauging this woman off of her accomplishments and want to say he definitely slept down. Now, did he sleep down in looks? Absolutely. But as far as everything else goes, that shit is irrelevant. We do not care about y'all accomplishments. And why should we if all of y'all want the top tier men anyway, like Jamie Foxx? Damn, are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Let's keep it moving.
But that is not all, because Jamie Foxx also has another daughter, and his daughter is named Annalise Bishop, and he had this daughter with another woman of no color, and that woman of no color's name is Kristen Granis, and they had this daughter 15 years later. So Annalise is 14 and his daughter Corinne is 29. So there are two women of no color whose life are tied to Jamie Foxx's. Some would say indefinitely, yet we have not heard from these women. And I did some research to try and see if any of them have made statements. So it's alleged that Katie Holmes spoke out in support of Jamie Foxx in his current situation, but there's nothing that came from her account, and she hasn't come out herself and made a statement at all. And the reason this is important is because having children with someone is supposed to be a special connection. 6 years of sharing time with that person is going to accumulate some type of emotional feelings. Now, of course, at this point, I don't expect Katie Holmes to be in any deep emotional state for Jamie Foxx, but at the end of the day, the man is withering away in a hospital. He's been in there for a month. He might not make it. Yet, even the mother of Jamie Foxx's children are not by his side, which is...
Yeah, but you don't know that because you're simply going off of, did any of them make any kind of announcements? And that's all you're going off of, which is no evidence whatsoever. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. Matter of fact, hold on. Before I even close that out, because it's something that she kept saying that really pissed me off during this whole video that we need to discuss, because she likes to use the term bandit a lot. And I looked up the definition. The word bandit means a robber or outlaw belonging to a gang and typically operating in an isolated or lawless area. What in the hell does any of that have to do with any of the shit you talk about on your channel? Bro, I tell you, man, there is a level of misandry from her channel and the people that watch her that is insane. And they over here trying to say that black men hate black women. No, it's the other way around. But hit the like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and check out the travel vlog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Until the next video, y'all, deuces.